the trade dispute between the United States and Canada has taken another dramatic turn. President Donald Trump has announced plans to impose 50% tariffs on a wide range of Canadian products, giving Canada just 30 days before the measures could take effect. The move has surprised many businesses on both sides of the border. But what does this decision really mean? And where could this trade conflict go next? The latest announcement marks one of the biggest increases in trade pressure since President Trump returned to office. According to the White House, the proposed tariffs are a response to what officials describe as Canada's unfair trade practices, including policies involving automobiles, dairy products, alcohol sales, and other market restrictions. Instead of taking effect immediately, the new tariffs would begin after a 30-day waiting period. That window gives both governments time to negotiate. However, many experts believe the announcement itself is meant to increase pressure before those talks continue. Canadian officials have not rushed into a response. Instead, political leaders are carefully reviewing the long list of products affected while discussing possible next steps. But that is only part of the story. The proposed tariffs would affect many Canadian exports, including alcohol, cement, construction materials, and several manufactured goods. At the same time, some of Canada's most valuable exports, including energy, potash, and certain critical minerals, remain exempt from the new measures. That detail has attracted significant attention. Trade experts say exemptions often reveal where the importing country still depends on foreign supplies. The United States continues to rely heavily on Canadian oil, fertilizer, and several critical minerals that are important for manufacturing, defense, and advanced technology industries. Former Canadian government advisor Brian Clough said the announcement is serious, but not entirely unexpected. He explained that officials had been preparing for the possibility that Washington could increase pressure if trade negotiations slowed. He also argued that Canada should remain calm during the 30-day period, instead of reacting immediately. Business leaders also urged caution. Rather than responding instantly, they believe Canada should first understand exactly which industries face the greatest risk before deciding how to respond. But the data reveals something surprising. Trade disagreements between Canada and the United States are not new. For decades, the two countries have been each other's largest trading partners. Every day, billions of dollars in goods cross the border. Their economies have become deeply connected through manufacturing, energy, agriculture, and transportation. During President Trump's first administration, tariffs were also used as a negotiating tool. Steel and aluminum became major points of conflict before both sides eventually reached agreements under the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, commonly known as USMCA. However, many analysts believe the current dispute is different. This time, the disagreements extend beyond steel and aluminum. They include automobiles, alcohol distribution, dairy markets, industrial products, and broader questions about where North American manufacturing should be located. Some experts believe the current administration is trying to encourage more production inside the United States, even if that creates short-term economic disruption. But another issue is quietly becoming just as important. At the center of this dispute is a larger political question. Should Canada respond with stronger countermeasures, or should it avoid escalating the conflict? Some Canadian leaders argue that matching American tariffs would demonstrate strength and protect Canadian industries. Others warn that another round of retaliation could make negotiations even more difficult. Several political observers believe President Trump is using tariffs as leverage rather than as a final objective. By increasing pressure before negotiations, the administration may hope to secure additional concessions from Canada. Yet there is another possibility. Some experts now question whether the White House is seeking a traditional trade agreement at all. Instead, they believe the administration wants to permanently shift manufacturing jobs away from Canada and into the United States. That possibility changes the entire discussion. If tariffs become part of a long-term industrial strategy rather than temporary negotiation tactics, Canada may need to rethink its own economic priorities. Former officials have warned that simply removing Canadian countermeasures may not be enough if Washington's long-term goal is to reduce Canadian manufacturing altogether. But halfway through this story, another development changes the picture. While the tariff announcement received most of the attention, another detail stood out. The United States chose not to impose new tariffs on several strategically important Canadian exports. Oil remained largely exempt. Potash remained exempt. Several critical minerals also remained outside the new tariff list. These products are essential to American industries, agriculture, and national security. That raises an important question. If the United States truly wanted maximum economic pressure, why leave these sectors untouched?